Out the City. I'm your host, Prince Electro Diamond, and today I am here with New York City musician, independent recording artist, Glam Awards nominee Benjy Bradshaw, who is coming out with the Love is Love Pride mix on May 26th and has Marry Me out now. This is my sexy, adorable friend Benjy. How you doing today, babe?
Hi, baby. How are you doing today?
I'm great.
So good to see you.
It's it's so great, and I know my fans are going to be so glad that you're like back on because literally when I asked of the three guests I had done, you, Sage Wade, and Phoenix, who everybody wanted back first, everybody voted for you.
Oh,
And to everyone out there who's like, why didn't you have Benjy back on sooner? It's not my fault. It's Benjy's.
that's true. Sorry, everybody.
Because
That is true.
I did try, and he told me June. So,
Look, everybody, we made it worth the wait. Okay, you're gonna have an
right,
amazing interview. So we're
right.
sorry for the wait, but you're welcome.
Yeah. So, my first question is why okay, no, I should wrong way to ask that. What made you do so many remixes of Love is Love instead of just releasing new songs?
Right. Well, because from the beginning, Love is Love, I always knew from the moment that I started working on it that I wanted it to have multiple remixes. It was like my intention because I knew that it was a dance song. I knew that it had a really important message. And I felt because I just saw all my friends when they do remixes, like the beauty that you have a different interpretation of a song. And I felt like that's really the message of this song. If there's any song that should have remixes, it's this one because it's all about love and loving for all people. So that makes sense to have so many people be part of this project. So I just wanted a bunch.
So, okay. One thing that I'm just curious about, I didn't write this down, but I'm curious. So,
Yeah.
is it theoretically, well, no, it's probably, is it theoretically costing you as much money to do like these multiple remixes as it would be to just do like release new songs? Or is it like a little
Um,
bit,
It's like the same, to be honest,
yeah,
because it's pretty much the main thing is time. The thing is like the time it takes to work with, different producers and like because the money thing is not a big deal. It'd be the same if I
right.
did, a new song. Probably a new song would be a little bit more expensive, maybe, just because it's a new project, and this one has been done now like 18 times.
Yeah.
So in that way, it's probably cheaper, but it's pretty much the same if it was a new song. It's the same kind of cost essentially.
Work.
Yeah,
So, okay. I'm going to ask you about this question. So you said in the interview you did with Gucci for "Marry Me" that you don't envision yourself getting married. So why is that?
yeah, interesting. So here's the thing. So I just have always had like I would call it a phobia because I know that it's not realistic. I know that when I'm overthinking marriage. I think it scares me, to be honest. I think it, and probably because of my own interpretation. Like I'm very independent person. You can probably tell. Like I'm very,
Right.
do my own thing, do my own makeup. So based on my own experiences, sometimes I've had things where I felt like I was trapped, and so I think I associate marriage with that instead of thinking of the positive, like a union and like people coming together to support each other. So I just kind of had the wrong impression of marriage, and it stuck with me, and I'm trying to like get over that because there is a beautiful thing about marriage too. I'm not like bashing
Right.
marriage, you know.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say anything. Have, I haven't never been close. I've had talks with someone about marriage and like we were going towards that path, but it's like I knew going into like the idea, the concept of marriage, that it was a wrong idea. Personally, now looking back at it, I think I'm too young. Like, I'm still in my 20s. Like, I shouldn't be like thinking about getting married. Like,
Right.
unless I want to be divorced in my 30s. Like,
Right. It's
yeah,
like sometimes it's just the timing, and so it's not the right time, or you're not, you don't want to do that at that time. I mean, if I met someone at any time in my life that I felt such a strong connection to, then maybe I would. But to be honest, I think, like, just like you, it's like I'm like,
yeah,
it's too young, like, or I'm not ready. Like, let's not force this right now.
right. So now, flipping the script. So, curious minds want to know, like mine, of course.
Mm.
At what age did you lose your virginity?
Oh my God. Um,
Don't act like you don't know that I ask scandalous questions now. Like this.
You've like within a few months, like when I first did the interview, it was like innocent, 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 and then it's like after my interview, then it's like
All of a sudden, I just got raunchier with
Yeah.
everybody.
It's like you become the Howard Stern now of like.
That's my role model. Like,
Oh,
literally,
really?
like legit. That's my interviewing role model.
Oh,
Seriously.
you're doing an amazing job. Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's so funny. So yeah, no, here's the thing. It's a complicated thing, but what I will say is I always how do I put this? Like, it's actually really hard to answer, to be honest with you. It's a very hard answer. But yeah, let's say, like, I'm like, let's make him a number. No, actually, to be honest with you, like, like, let's just put it this way. I was in it, like, I'm in it. I'm actually more innocent than people think I am. And like, like high school, grammar school, like virgin. Like, I was like, everyone was not a virgin when I was like a virgin still. So like, I feel like let's just leave it at that. But I'm like very prudish. I really am. Like, I know people are like, oh, you have a freaking sparkle bra on, but I really am very shy when it comes to that sort of thing, and like very particular with that person, so, or people. So yeah.
Right. Okay, that's my one shocking question. I will say this. From when I interviewed you in January, I took some of the like more shocking questions out to put in better questions that I wrote like a few days ago.
Oh yeah, because you said you had like stuff that we didn't finish.
Yeah. So that's what most of these are, but I took out two of the like more inappropriate ones, and I put in.
It's okay.
More.
Love it.
Because of course nobody else is going to ask you about that, so I had to.
No, I love it. I love that you're pushing boundaries here. It's great.
Right. So, did your parents accept you being gay?
Yes. They've always been supportive, and I think, I don't know if we talked about this last time, but I've always felt like I'm my worst enemy. So I've been lucky where people were supportive, or they like gave me space to be who I was, to find myself. But I was always the harshest critic on myself.
Right.
So, but yeah, they're supportive, and they knew, like, I remember as a kid, I had like ruby slippers from Wizard of Oz. So I've always been a little bit, on the queer side. So it's a little bit, it wasn't a shocking, let's put it that way. It wasn't a shocker.
Yeah. I think you did talk about that last time.
Yeah. A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I'm trying to remember because it's been so long. Did I tell you about, did I tell you about me getting locked in a mental institution when I came out?
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That wasn't by my parents. That was by a youth minister.
Stop it. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, you don't deserve that.
It was all. Well, here's the thing. You get this. I had like a performance idea with a knife where I practiced like killing myself, but I actually didn't do anything. Like, it was like theatrics. Like, it's not like I was stabbing myself. Like,
right.
But that's what they took, and then they tried to pray the gay away. Well, they had a counselor after I got out, and he tried to cover his ass. They put me in a counselor, but they tried to pray the gay away.
Well, it didn't work, honeys.
Clearly not. I'm sitting here in a fucking wig. Like,
I love it. Good. I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah.
I'm glad they weren't able to do that.
I will say this. I actually chose to do silver hair because you had silver hair. That's the only reason why.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. It looks amazing on you.
Thank
I
you.
love the length. Yeah.
Yes, this is what I call like good length. I accidentally like bought some wigs recently that were like that I thought were like 32 inches, which is what this is, and they're 40, and I'm like, fuck.
Oh wow.
Because they're so hard to maintain at 40 inches, and they get knotted up.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
like share hair, but like I'm like I already bought it. I don't want to return it, so
No, I get
I'll
it.
just I'll just rock it when it looks good.
Yeah.
So I'll ask that question later. So how involved are you in the production and engineering of your music?
Yeah. So I'm lucky that everyone I work with is really lets me be as involved as I want to be. Some of the tracks I've pretty much like co-produce. For example, Like It, which is a song that came out a while back, but that one, like I totally produced that one. And then, we get it mixed and mastered, but the other songs, like Marry Me actually was Gucci, who's the collaborator on that project. He actually produced the song, and then I went on and added some instrumentation and then added little things here and there, but it was his idea. And Love is Love, obviously that's Cry It is his name, and he's out of Italy, and he totally produced that. So it was just my vocal that I wrote the vocals on, and it, you know, but he did like the music stuff. But he
Right,
obviously wanted my feedback, so he sent it to me, and I was like, oh my god, I love it. It's like very beachy, like rooftop summer party.
right,
So yeah, I always they wouldn't like put a song out if I didn't feel like it was like I liked it. They want at least everyone I've worked with so far. It's
right.
been very nice. Yeah.
Is that because you don't? Okay, so you said like obviously like it, which if I remember correctly is more like a rock kind of
Yes.
song, right?
Right. Right. Right.
Is it because you don't believe that you can produce the like electronic elements yourself, and is that why you reach out to people, or is it just you'd rather collaborate with somebody?
I think it's that I rather collaborate with someone, to be honest. I mean, that like, I've been lucky that everyone I've worked with is very talented, and of course, like their production on that track, I don't think I could ever top. I mean, I'm like with when I think the last time I was here, we were doing "I Just Want Love" with DiCristino, and like, there's
Yeah,
no way I could make like all the stuff that he did, because he did also a bunch of remixes, like a dark techno version, like
right,
tech punk, and there's no way I would have done that in that way, so in that quality. So I think, but I didn't choose him for that. Like I chose him because I like him as a person, as a producer,
yeah,
and like, so it's always about that first and foremost. Is like if someone who likes similar music as me, or I think they're interesting. Um, but Love is Love, because now there's so many remixes. Those have now become a thing where people have we kind of know them. I know them, and they reach out and say, hey, like I would love to do the next Love is Love remix. Um, or something like that. So it's like a friend kind of situation. So
right.
yeah, so it's kind of become an organic thing, which is great.
Which I will say, I like the original version of Love Is Love. I do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do like. My favorite is like the remix that I have is I like the 69 remix, but that's
Yes.
literally because, and I don't know if this is what the producer was going for, but for me, I get very much like Donna Summer vibes
Yes.
from it, and that's why I
Yes.
like it.
Totally. Totally. Yes. Definitely, it has that influence 100,000%. And yeah, no, and that was okay. That's another example of a remix that I actually didn't know he was doing. Like he had, because he was on the Mike Freak was on the first Love Is Love collection of remixes. Then last year he just surprised me and did the Studio 69 version. And that's the one I did obviously the Love Is Love video for, which got nominated for the Glam Award.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's like an example of just somebody that like he was like, oh, look what I did. And I'm like, wait, what? You did a whole freaking like, like disco infused like track? Like what? And yeah. So but thank you. I love that one too. That
yeah,
was really fun.
work. So, what was it like for you the first time you performed?
Oh my God. Um that's a great question. I remember it so well. And actually the show that I recently had was Slick Control. my collaborator Melissa, she actually is the one that gave me my first show. And what I remember is that I've always been, when I perform, I want to do a production. So I actually carried with me all the props, and I had like I think it was a 15-minute set, but I had like 10 outfit changes, and I had like made wearable sculptures and like out of paper. So I just had a suitcase of everything. I rushed downtown. It was I mean, I felt like it was a natural thing. I wasn't nervous in that way. I was more like, oh my God, this, like, more just like having to run around New York and trying to get to the venue on time. And then like, I was more scared about sound check because like people
Right.
can like hear your natural voice and there's like no one there. So I was more nervous for the sound check.
Right.
But the biggest thing I realized was that I didn't know how to pace myself, because like, as you know, you perform too, is like,
Yeah.
you kind of learn your body when you're under that amount of stress and like performance. And that first show, I almost fainted almost at the end because I wasn't hydrated enough. And I didn't realize that I overworked myself in shows, which now I know, so I practice more and all that. But I like threw my like so much energy that I almost like literally fainted on stage. And I had to like take a little break and have a giant glass of water. Actually, this is the water bottle I use. This one. This is my like go-to. So I just took like a chug of this before my last song. But yeah, I definitely remember it, and it's very memorable like experience.
See, whenever I'm at a bar, like when I'm performing, I always order water. Like, no matter what. I'm not someone who does like a ton of alcohol before. I actually rarely drink before I perform. So like,
right.
I'm very sort of like in the what's the thing? Oh, in knowing of what I'm doing. That didn't exactly make sense, but you get what I'm going.
Right.
So actually, to the first time I performed, it's actually crazy enough. So the first place I performed in Orlando, I had performed there for about a month, not as Prince Electro Diamond, and then like I came back one day as Prince Electro Diamond, and I'm like, because I got what I call like the balls to just like do it, and it was crazy. It was like a straight bar. Like I have one of those very rare experiences of doing drag in a straight bar for the first time, like performing at open mic nights. That's literally how I started.
Wow. So what was that like? Because that's one thing I've noticed. Like I do have feelings about spaces like queer spaces versus non-queer.
Right.
Like how did that feel?
I wasn't. So I will say this. I wore more clothes back then, so I'm assuming that's why I got a little bit more like accepted. I wear like pants and everything like that. Whereas like now, if I walked in half naked like I do everywhere, I don't think I'd be as accepted as a performer. But as I talked about with my body image with you last time, it's like I got to the point where I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna dress the way I want to dress, and love me as I am or hate me.
Right. Totally. Good for you.
Yeah. But I was different. That's why I think like musicians liked me, because I did electronic music where they all did like acoustic sets. There were so many, but the thing is, over time, once that like open mic night started like building, because when I started as Prince Electro Diamond, they had just changed hosts, so it wasn't like as big. But I was also the person who I'm like, when they had nights when they were dead, I was the person who's like, keep me on, like keep me on. I'll do half an hour, like I'll do 5 songs, I'll do half an hour, just like keep me on. Like I don't care about I only have to do these 3 songs. No, I'm very much the person who's like, I love performing, keep me on as long as you can. Like,
right. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. So you like kind of made your own way. You're like, I'm gonna do the stage. I'll be there anytime. I can go on all night.
Well, at another point, I was performing one show there, and one show in another place. So literally, I was the opener. Like,
Mm.
I opened, did my 3 songs, left, went to the other place to go perform. So it was like that was probably the craziest time. I eventually stopped that at one point. I pretty
Mm-hmm.
much let the straight bar go, and I just started performing at the gay bar like all the time because not because I hated it. It's just it was too much. Like,
Mm-hmm. Right.
because I don't. Have you ever done that? Have you ever done 2 shows in one night?
I have. I
Yeah.
actually, yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's fun and great. Like I actually last fall for one of those like fall shows had that where it was like we had a big show in the evening and then an after hours party in Brooklyn. So it was like in Lower East Side or East Village and then to
Yeah.
Brooklyn. And that was interesting. We had pizza in between, thank God. There's some food involved.
Right.
Yeah, is that did you do that a lot?
I did it for 4 or 5 months.
Every like twice a night?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Wow. But
That
good
yeah.
for you. Yeah. Getting the
I
gigs,
mean,
honey.
yeah. Unfortunately, had to leave all that, and I know some of my fans are always upset. They always are asking like, "When are you gonna do new music? When are you gonna do new music?" My response is, I hadn't. Well, you don't. You probably don't understand this because you're successful in music. I had been unsuccessful, at least in my view, and I'm more successful at this. That's why I'm pushing my energy into this.
Hmm.
And then hopefully through this, I can build it to where like music can become a thing in the future.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's great. Like I think, and the thing is, I was actually talking to I think Gucci yesterday about this. Is like, nowadays, like you could have your like vision of like I want to do like let's say music or something, but
Yeah.
like if you're getting traction doing something else and people are really appreciating it like you're doing right now, then like why stop that? It's like
Right.
people are going to get to know you, and like even with like Kardashians, like we all saw their life and now we feel like we know them.
Yeah.
So I think live streaming is a great way to like people get to know who you are, your views, and then it's like a transparent way. And then when you do music, people are like invested because they're like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
know them, and like I love what they're doing." And so I think it's great.
But it's also, I don't know if you feel this way, but it's
Mhm.
like, as like a person in the entertainment industry, you can no longer do one thing.
Right.
Like those days are over. Those days were honestly probably over towards the end of the 90s. All of a sudden in the 2000s, it's like you had to be able to do this and this and
Yep.
this and this and this. And it's like, for someone who like, one thing I actually did give advice to somebody who like asked me, they're like having difficulties with like auditions and all that, and they were like going on all these shows and like talking to producers and like all this, and they're like, what do I do? And they also do drag. I'm like, did you ever think about doing drag and like going into these auditions? Like,
Mm.
I can't guarantee you it's gonna work, but it worked for Ada Vox. I mean, like,
Mm.
so it's not like it's impossible.
Right. Yeah. No, I definitely think it's
Yeah.
smart, and you kind of have, like you said, you gotta nowadays you have to do more than one thing. You have to
Yeah.
do a lot of things. Yeah.
Work.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, this is why as you know, I write questions in random orders. So, I know that you're a big Madonna fan. So, what's your favorite Madonna era?
Oh wow. Okay, so there's two answers. Actually, and there's a third comment. So the two answers. Number one is musically, my favorite era was Confessions on a Dance Floor,
Okay.
which was like with one of my favorite songs of hers is Get Together. I don't know. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Madonna fan too. Of course. Keep
Oh,
going.
okay, cool.
Like,
Okay,
yeah.
so I like it not only because it's electronic music, but I just felt like it, like from start to finish. What I loved about it was you put it in and it like all the songs transition.
Right.
So it's like one long dance, like you're on the dance floor for like an hour, whatever long the album is.
Right.
So I love that. But in terms of like just Madonna album or era, actually, I mean, I think it's like the True Blue. I mean, maybe I'm kind of doing that right now with like the kind of like the like
Yeah.
short hair, but you know, I feel like that like those looks is like very iconic to me. So the songs are amazing too, but I liked just like how she looked, like the blonde hair and like the short is very like crisp and
Right.
yeah. What about you?
Mine, I would have to say, Confessions on a Dance Floor is probably. I would put that at a tie for me with MDNA.
Mm,
Like,
mhm, mhm, mhm.
and those are probably like her two most dance albums that she made. Like, it all depends on my mood. If
Right,
I'm into like if I want to just listen to like a like disco style album, I obviously gravitate towards Confessions on a Dance Floor. If I want to listen more EDM, I go towards MDNA. It just
right.
all depends on my mood. In terms of like a tour, I actually have an answer for this.
Hmm.
I would say it's one that most people ignored because it didn't get a release in America, but it was the Reinvention Tour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, that looked incredible. Yeah.
And
That went. Yeah.
it's because like her live version of actually one of the reasons I like it is because it was like one of the last times she performed American Life, which is one of my favorite songs by
Mm,
her.
mm-hmm.
And B, the Express Yourself, like the arrangement of that song is just like so great.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I love how she. That's one of my favorite things about with the tours is how she rearranges everything and really gives you its own like show. I love it. It's like
Yeah.
and like I like how they record it. The one thing I was going to tell you, which is actually funny you asked this, is that so in August, you obviously you know you're a Madonna fan. You know her birthday is in August,
Yeah.
so they're doing a it's a yearly. I think it's 15th annual Madonna worship party with DJ Chauncey, and he actually asked me to perform this year. So in August, I'm going to be doing Madonna cover part of the party. I have to like I'm gonna like produce the set, so I'm still working on it,
Right.
but I'm really excited. But like my hairstylist Johnny, he already gave me the songs. He's like, you got to do these songs. These are gonna fit your voice, and like do a mashup of these things. So I have to prepare it still, but like I'll definitely let you see. I'll take video and stuff. But yeah,
Right.
I'm excited, but like very nervous because it's Madonna, you know.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Oh
we'll go
wow,
for it.
I gotta go back. I just realized I skipped two questions.
Oh,
So
okay.
so well, obviously you answered this, so like you're gonna be covering Madonna, but other than Madonna, do you cover any other artists when you're performing, or like is that more? Do you just do like more originals?
Yes. So I actually there's only one cover I've ever done, which is yeah, it's not Madonna. Um, it's a song called Perfect Day by Lou Reed. And I just love it. It's like it's I always say it's like a dark, happy song.
Right.
So I've covered that, but other than that, I've never covered a song, and it's not because I don't want to, because I think it would be fun. But like I did one other cover, for one of my shows. My friend really wanted me to do preacher. What's that? Son of a Preacher Man. Like she wanted me to sing "Son of a Preacher Man" and then go into my song that at that time I was doing was called "Online Boy," which is not out yet. But it was just funny. I'm like doing "Son of a Preacher Man," so that was like a request. Oh, and then I
There-
did. Go
There's
ahead. Sorry.
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with doing "Son of a Preacher Man." I've done that song before. I love
Yeah,
it.
no, it's
But
a
like,
great song.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I just mean like I if I were to choose a cover, I think I don't know. I always would want to do like a rock song or like I don't know. I just like kind of that darker, like slower songs for a cover. Um, but yeah.
well, I actually did. I literally just discovered an instrumental today for a song that like I've covered before, but I'm thinking like it's a little bit more like hard edge. It's turned down for what, but it's more like a metal version. So
Ooh.
I'm thinking like if I were to like perform and do that live again, I think I'd do that.
Mm-hmm. That
Kind of
sounds
flip
fun.
something on its head. Yeah, but who knows? Well, actually, I say that's not true. My drag sister around here said she wants to start doing shows, and I said, well, once you do, let a bitch know, and I'll start like performing.
I
I'll
love
like
it.
I'll like come out of retirement
I
because
love
that's
it.
kind of.
Right. No, that's
But
great.
yeah.
Mhm.
So where are some of your favorite places to perform?
Yeah, so I that's a good question. I was just thinking about that actually. So in terms of New York, I like let me think really quickly because I there's different pros and cons to different kind of venues. Um, but I mean, normally I like a smaller, intimate venue,
Yeah,
just for the fact that because I love getting in the audience. Like I like to really
right.
get in there and like perform with people. So like if it's a stage is too far from the people or if it's too high up, I just don't like it because it's like I can't go in the crowd and like dance with people and get crazy. So I like the more intimate venues. So like some of the ones we did for the fall shows I liked,
Right.
which were like kind of like bar setting, like kind of cabaret style. But I would love to do like a bigger venues. It seems like it would be fun. Although you're separate from the audience. If you're like with the DJ booth, you're not going to be right next to everybody. But I think that could be fun too, just the energy.
Well, actually, this would be a weird question. I know you probably haven't performed in places like that. Have you ever performed in a place without a stage?
Oh yeah.
Because that, when you're talking about like being in the audience,
Hmm.
I've done that. I performed actually down south, like when I performed down in West Palm Beach. I've actually performed in a place where I was performing in the middle of the bar. Like,
Right. That's amazing. I
just,
love that.
yeah,
No, but that's my favorite kind because it's like 360. It's raw. People are
yeah,
behind you, people to your left, and it's like you can really work the room. Um, so yeah, I mean, a lot of the places I performed was just on the floor. It wasn't even there was no stage. It was just
yeah,
like we're on the middle of a bar trying to perform. Like one time I went to a restaurant. I was at a restaurant and there was no speaker, so I actually brought an amp there. Like I just brought an amp and had to do "Love Is Love" in a restaurant. Everyone starts dancing, but it was like kind of scary because I'm like, I hope people can hear me, and it's not gonna look like a freak just dancing in the middle of a restaurant. But they got
oh
into it.
yeah, yeah. Amp. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it was weird.
Cause yeah, I understand that very much with sound check. Like, I am also the person who like. I love when some people like put the microphone like up there and that's where they're singing at. Literally, I'm like all the way out here because like my voice projects that much that like if I put it too close to my mouth, I'm gonna deafen everybody. Like,
Right. Well, that's like the new thing. Oh,
yeah,
that reminds me. So that's one of the new kind of challenges. So you probably saw my pictures. I have like one of those
yeah,
wireless headsets now.
mm-hmm,
So, like to your point, the pro is that you could run around, which I'm very hands-on with my performances, so I can run around, literally run. But the con is that like that mic is so close to you. So at my show on Friday, it's the control. There's points either both ways. One time when it was too low and I couldn't hear myself, or one that was too close, and I'm like, oh god, the people are going to be like, this guy's shouting at us. So yeah, it's like yeah, but I like it though because it's like you can just do it. You could dance
yeah,
and but oh yeah, you have a wireless one.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
have a headset mic. Yeah, I know. That's why
Yeah.
I know how like I know the exact placement of it. Like a lot of people think like when you see Britney and all that, and she's lip syncing and it's like right here. When
Yeah.
you're not actually singing, the mic can be right here.
Yeah.
When you're not, it has to be like out here. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Mhm.
but yeah. So so okay. So how long does it take you to get ready when you have to like do an interview or like
Like
perform?
tonight,
Yeah.
yay. Okay. Tonight I got ready in about an hour and let's say an hour and a half. I would say a baseline is an hour and a half for an interview or a show.
Yeah.
Like that's the bottom bare minimum. It's not going to be any faster because the makeup can be up to an hour. Then hair, like this, like I mean, I've been sleeping on this hair because it was like I wore it on Friday. I'm gonna clean it. I'm gonna take a shower tonight with my hair. I mean, I took a shower, but I'm not gonna wash. I didn't wash my hair out. But
Yeah.
like the curl thing would take a lot longer because that takes time to do curls.
Right.
Then outfit, that takes time looking through the clothes. Even if I know what I'm wearing, I have to, you have to put it on top of your makeup. So you know how it is. You have to like make sure you don't get the makeup all over your outfit. And
Actually, I don't, because let me tell you what I do. I put the outfit on first.
you're brilliant.
Yeah.
You are so ahead of your game.
Like that's why. The bad thing is when I wear black, like if I go too far down my neck and like I dip, I usually have it like right here.
Oh.
But today I'm good. But other than that, it's like that you just grab a washcloth and like scrub it out, you can usually get
Right.
it out.
Oh my god, that's so smart.
Yeah, that's literally how I've always done it, because it's like what I do is I shave, then put on my like underwear, and then like put on the outfit. Like if it's a bodysuit, I step into it. If it's a t-shirt, I obviously, especially now, like I do t-shirts mostly, so it's like I want to pull it over and have it on me before I like start doing my makeup, so I don't have to worry about like messing it up.
Right. No, it's true. Like, well, especially if you have a t-shirt. I mean, there's no way. I guess they stretch, but like it's to put that over your face. I mean, a lot of my looks, obviously, like right now I'm wearing a freaking like bra thing, so like I don't
Yeah.
have that problem of like tight neck. Well, it's not true. If I do
Yeah.
a cat suit, which I do, I used to do a lot of cat suits. Those are hard with with makeup, obviously, because it's like skin tight. So yeah, I should just do that. But then this like I like because I take an hour and a half with my makeup. Like I want to be comfortable. For me, I just like I should do that though because it would save me a lot of stress.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe one day.
Well, that's because in truth, because you have to do eyes, I don't. It takes me half an hour to get ready. Like,
right.
like that's why I'm so glad. Like when I had to like, so now my work schedule is like actually like conducive to me doing interviews at 6:00.
Nice.
When I had to work at like. When I had to work 9 to 5:30, and like I had to get or no, I used to do interviews at 7 because it's like I had to get home. Usually I was home by 6:15, and then I had to get in the shower and like rush to get here
right
on time. There was one time, crazily enough, I was supposed to be at a performance at the same time I scheduled an interview, and I canceled the performance just because I knew I never would make it there on time.
Oh,
because I could barely make it to my bedroom.
Right.
On time, and that's in my house. Like,
right. Wow.
But it was for like a competition I was doing to be in a Pride event that literally I had to work the day of the Pride event anyway because I'm at a new job, so like I can't take any time off.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm glad you could do it now. It's better timing.
Yeah, it's definitely. Although I will say, when you said like look at your outfit, so because I'm used to working an early schedule, even if I'm off, I get up crazy early. Like I was up this morning at 4 a.m. So like
wow.
So like literally when I came home after exercising, like at 5:00, that's when I like went into my room and like picked out my outfit. So like everything was in my bathroom, so all I had to do was just get ready earlier.
Smart.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my god.
But that leaves you no option of changing everything.
Right. It's like you don't no room for that.
Where it's like, but I still like it. Anyways,
Yeah.
so okay, so what's the craziest thing you've done on stage?
Oh wow. um that's another one that's like there's a lot of crazy stuff I've done. I painted my face one time. Like I had like I don't know, it was like a crazy performance that I had like paint. I tried to paint like put like kind of like blood kind of like paint, like just
Yeah,
throw it on your face. Like on top of my make like I did my face, I beat my face, spent hours on it, and then like just started like pouring it on me. Um I've stripped, but like kind of like literally ripped off my shirt. Like I was planned and I had like
yeah.
for I just want love, I like had a cat suit with love on it, and then I just ripped it off on top. Um I the funniest one, to be honest with you, is one oh my funny. There's two funny ones, but my favorite is there's a donut shop. There is a donut shop, and my friend was out of town, and he wanted to hear "Love Is Love," but like a live street performance at like 4 a.m. So there was no mic. It was just me and my friend David Michael, a DJ who produced one of he did he mixed and mastered the original, and then he has his own remix. So he played his remix on or the original on his phone, and then I just literally started singing "Love Is Love" at a donut shop. Like, and then like we met this fashion model, like because it was like 4 a.m. by the way, it was like 4:30 a.m. like after all the clubs closed.
Yeah.
So this like model like was like, "Oh my god, like I want to party with you guys," and she starts singing, and then we're all just singing "Love Is Love," and then people on the street were just like, "Oh, you guys are having fun!" Like a donut shop, like donut pub. So we're just like singing "Love Is Love," and like I danced on the tables and the bench. So that was a really fun one because it wasn't even a club; it was just like a street corner.
See, that is, but that's very New York. That is something
Right.
that like I would not imagine doing now, especially because I'm in Florida. We'll discuss more about the tragedies of that later
Oh,
on.
yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so to your point, I don't feel comfortable without a mic. In fact, the thing that like so speaking of like when I was trying to like get a gig at Pride, like I was going through competition, I did like the thing that I missed was like a wild card event where like I got asked back after I didn't win the competition the week or like a few weeks before. But when I was there at the competition, the craziest thing that drives me crazy is when the judge knows that I'm a live singer
Mhm.
and they're not handing me a microphone.
What?
So my track's already playing and I'm like I need a microphone.
Right.
And like the track's already playing. Luckily, I was performing a track with an instrumental. Otherwise, I would have had to start over.
Oh my god.
But it's like I had to like through the instrumental, and I had to hit the beat exactly where it was. That's when I got handed the microphone, and I was just like, and I was in. But
Oh my god.
that's one of those things where like as I discussed this with somebody, you always have to be on your toes when you're performing because you never know what's going to happen.
Right. No, it's true. You never know, and that's a big one. If you don't have a mic working, or if you don't have a mic, like, and your song is playing, like that's a big problem.
Exactly.
But you've held it like a professional. You still went through with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as I said, they told the judges after told me, "Oh, you lost by 2 points." I'm like, okay. I'm like, I didn't agree with them. Obviously,
Right.
I heard the other performer. I should have won by 4 points. But like, that's just
Mm,
my view on it. But it's like when you have nepotism, and it's like the judges all knew the other performer and they didn't know me.
mm,
But is that
right.
I'm the person who's like, as I said, I've never won anything, but I don't need to win to know that I'm talented. Like,
Right. No, and like I don't know. I've never done a competition, and I don't think I ever would. I just think it's stressful. Like So the fact that you even did a competition is great because I think it's
Yeah,
a good thing, but I also feel like I just don't have it in me to go through that. Like just trying to hang in there. It's just a lot. So yeah, I think that it's hard. Like, yeah, you don't need anyone to tell you
yeah,
that you're worthy or good enough. It's like just go for it.
yeah. But you're also, as I say, you're in the advantage of being in New York City. You're an independent recording artist. You already have clubs wanting to book you. I don't. Like,
Mhm. Well, the thing is, like, I think
yeah,
the thing, like, so for example, I didn't like when, like I said, talked about the first show. Is like I started
yeah,
that. A friend asked me. It was just like a friend that asked me to perform. I did it, but like you said, I've always known that I am a performer, like
yeah,
above anything, and no matter where I am a performer. And so I think it's kind of like you just kind of keep doing it. So for example, my second gig I ever got was because I started doing singing classes. My really close friend is a beautiful, amazing singer, and like so she would for free teach me how to sing. So we recorded on Instagram. Like I would post like snippets of like our practice, so like my vocal warm up, and then I did a cover. Speaking of covers, I did a Alice in Chains um song, and I was just as our practice, and I was doing that, and there's one part when I like scream like I'm not gonna do it right now, but like I
yeah,
screamed, and so I recorded that one part and posted it, and an amazing DJ saw, and I did like hashtag like New York City, like so in your case could be like hashtag Florida drag or
yeah,
whatever. So anyway, somebody saw it and was like, hey, I want you to perform at my party. It's an underground party. So like my second gig wasn't anyone I knew. It's just because they saw me on Instagram.
yeah,
And then she had connections because she was an amazing DJ. And so she had like a few shows. And then I had that. And then I met someone else. So it's like, I feel like for everybody, it's like you kind of got to just like, obviously, if the competition is one way to get into these clubs, then do it. And then like just be yourself and like push yourself to be your best. And then somebody's going to see you and that it'll work out. Like someone will say, hey, I have an opening next week. I mean, I'm sure you already know this because you were doing it, but
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like, my thing was to that point. It's like at another competition, that's where I met my drag sister. So
Mm.
obviously she saw me perform, and like
Hmm.
when she's like being a director of a show, it's like, well, I think I've already proven myself to
Right.
her. So obviously, like me just saying like hit me up, like I don't have to audition. But also, I am the person that like why I put my focus towards this so much is because I want to be bigger than where I'm at.
Hmm.
And like I feel like a lot of the drag queens around here are just stuck in one area.
Mm-hmm.
That's why like I will say like crazily enough, I went back like a few weeks ago. There was like 1 week at work where like they had no power and like I couldn't work at all. So I was like just sitting in my car and like I had my iPod and I actually listened to our first interview. I went,
Really?
went back and listened to it. And I listened to the part where I said, I will never move to Los Angeles. I will never do this. LA is never for me. Now, 5 months later, I might move to LA at some point.
What? How dare you? How dare you do that to us? How could you decide to leave and like say things you didn't weren't gonna do and then you can do them?
Yeah, because I know I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to change an opinion on anything. Like
Yeah,
once you
no,
say an opinion, you're never allowed to change.
exactly. I'm offended now.
What?
No, I'm kidding. I'm so
Yeah,
kidding.
I'm like, you better be kidding, bitch. Like,
No, I'm happy for you. LA. Actually, I've never thought I'd be there either. So maybe I will one day. Who knows?
well, my thing was, in truth, it was when I started interviewing people from LA. It's like, well, now I know people.
Mhm.
Like moving to LA would make sense. But I say not immediately.
Mhm.
I think as I said, I think I want to do a climate different than Florida first, and
Mhm.
then transition
Right.
to moving to LA.
Right.
So that's why I'll probably still like move to either like Atlanta or something like that. Just like something different. But I will say what honestly started changing my views about LA was interviewing Phoenix. Like, yeah. I mean, getting to meet people, although, and overall, people in LA, when you book them, they actually show up for the interview.
Oh, people didn't show up?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I'm counting. 4? I think I've booked 4 interviews and had people not show up.
That's so unprofessional.
And, well, not only not show up, but, like, not communicate to me that they need to rebook.
So you're, like, waiting for them, and you're all dolled up, and then they're not there?
Yeah.
That is not okay. That is not okay. I'm offended.
Well, yeah.
Well, no, but like, yeah, that's not okay. But like to your point about LA, like I saw your because Onyx, I saw your interview with Onyx.
Yeah.
And like Onyx, I've been following on Insta for a while. So
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you for like really getting great talent. And like you said, people like the LA, like I think Onyx is very professional. You know, and so you're getting the good people. And so you know what? The people that aren't showing up, that's their missed opportunity.
Exactly. It's like right now where I'm at, like right now I have a cap of like I can't get people above a certain following. And like when I interviewed you the first time, it was like 15 to 20,000. I'm now at the point where I'm like closer to like 90, so I'm like getting closer to 100, so I'm like that'd be nice.
I'm so proud of you.
Well, not in terms of my followers, but in terms of like people I can get. I wish I had 100,000 followers. Follow a bitch, like.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Everyone, go follow right now. Sorry, wrong side. Follow there.
Yeah, but I will say, like, going back to our first interview, honestly. And I'm so glad that you said that because I will admit, there was a part of me, not necessarily right after your interview, but right after Phoenix, I couldn't like interact with people, and I'm thinking, I had that thought of, am I gonna fail at this too? Like,
no,
but
no, I was actually very proud and impressed because I looked at your page and all your interviews, and then you also had the dancer, the go-go boy, or I don't know.
Which
I'm sorry.
One?
Okay, there's probably a bunch. So I can't remember now, but there's a dancer that's like really well known, and I'm just like, you're getting amazing bookings of these people on your show, and like all of them, the fact that they came through and were like really engaged, and I just feel like you gave them good questions. So I'm just very impressed. You really are pushing your limit and getting good bookings and having good interviews. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I will say to anyone who wants to like do what I'm doing, actually, first of all, don't. I want everyone to come to me.
Oh,
no, I'm kidding. But like, if you do, persistence is key. If you are not persistent, people will forget you.
Amen.
So it's like, again, back to your point about Onyx.
Mm-hmm.
That was 5 months of me like asking him, waiting for him to respond, giving him a few months, going back in, asking him again, waiting for a response, back in. And I think it was the 4th time I asked him, he finally got his team to say yes. So it's like...
See, everyone take notes right now. Listen what we're hearing, which is like be persistent and don't stop and keep going, and things happen.
And be pleasant. If you're...
Yep.
Yeah.
Listen right there. Listen.
It's literally... you know this being a nightlife performer. If you're a cunt, nobody's gonna want to book you. Like,
No.
if you're like the cunty bitch, like, yes, do I like throw shade at Phoenix when I'm interviewing him? Yes, but like, Phoenix also knows how much I love him, so like that's why he
Right.
lets me get away with it. Like,
Right. No, yeah, you can't.
it's
No,
yeah, it's not
you
done in a bitchy way.
no, and it's like you said, it's like you got to remember that, you know, these are like you can't just if the first no or the first like maybe and you don't hear back, like
Yeah,
don't give up. Like you got to kind of like keep going and you have to be like you said, respectful. Like people are going to remember, and if you're rude, they're going to remember that one
yeah,
impression of like, oh, you're very difficult to work with, or so you kind of always
yeah.
have to just be really nice and like respectful, I think.
And the other thing I can ask you is, I don't know if New York's like this. Is New York very much a city where like entertainers are like only available like Monday through Thursday to like do stuff, and then like on the weekend they're like booked solid?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, like
Yeah,
some of the drag queens, I know some of them are like booked literally every day. It's
yeah,
like they'll have because they may have like an online like podcast on one day, and
right,
then they booked at like 3 different bars throughout the week, and then Saturday maybe they do,
yeah.
and a lot of them travel. So yeah, like the queens that do it for a living usually have to be booked at least 4 nights, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday. Yeah, yeah,
Because I learned that's the other thing I learned from booking people on LA. It's like LA is very much, if you're trying to book go-go dancers, musicians, all that, LA, it's literally the same thing. You got to book Monday through Thursday, otherwise you're not going to get guests. Like, that's
mhm,
just simply how it is.
right.
Which is why I'm so glad that I started working on Sunday so I could change my podcast during the week. That's how I was able to get
Yeah.
people.
No, exactly. And like if you're
Yeah.
doing nightlife, like you said, Sundays might be hard because Saturday night they might be out late,
Yeah.
and so it's nice. Like a weeknight's nice.
Which work. Oh, so your next question: who would be your dream artist to work with? And before you answer, remember I'm sitting right here, bitch. No, I'm kidding.
I know, right? It's like, hello, Crystal Diamonds, number one, number one. Everyone could quote this. Wait, I keep pointing the wrong way. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, besides you, yes, I would have to choose somebody that is, I mean, for me, um, oh, this is hard. There's a lot of really good people and I didn't even think about that, which is like, it doesn't need to be necessarily like a musician per se. Because sometimes like you know me from my Instagram, like I'm very
Yeah.
visual, and like it'd be cool to interact with someone that's maybe like a visual artist and like make something with them.
Yeah.
But off the top of my head, somebody that I think could be cool is why am I blanking? Um ooh, let's just say anyone's name at this point. Oh god. Why
Well, you
can't I
want
think?
to you want me to answer the question so you can
Yeah,
just steal some of my artists?
yes, I want to copy you. Go.
Okay, so I definitely said, and you saw this in the honest interview. I did say you, obviously.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Onyx would be definitely another one for me.
Yeah.
Um, if you want to go rapper, like especially for me, Sage Suede, my friend, love him. Texas rapper, as I said, has like a huge following on Instagram, not as huge a following on Twitter. Go follow Sage Suede. And then Pretty Boy Rock, who I've actually interviewed, who's actually became my friend. So it's like,
Oh.
those would be like my four, but it's like, or no, wait, no, I said Callum Hawthorne too, Australian artist, like not a huge following, amazing. He does electronic music. Actually, I think you saw that interview.
Oh yeah. Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I love who I've been working with. I almost want to do another
Yeah.
song with these people. Like, um, one person I haven't worked with in a while that I really love is someone named DJ Strobe, and he did one of the Love Is Love mixes, but I haven't worked with him in a long time, and I've been thinking like I want to do because that's the other thing is like my genres is like if I were to do an album, I want to do like an '80s dance inspired album. Um, and I feel like because when he did the Love Is Love remix that he did, it has like a very like '80s like a fun like disco feel. So I mean, that could be someone, but like I also, my usuals like Mike Freak, DiCristino, like I
Yeah.
love all these people I've worked with. Like I've been so lucky. Like so I'd always want to work with them again. So, but try to think of someone new for you, someone like even different. But
Well,
that's
okay.
uh-huh.
This is what I'm gonna say to anyone who wants to work with Benjy and like producers that giving him a beat. Give him a beat that's longer than 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I understand like why that's a trend.
Right.
I completely understand why that's a trend. I'm
Right.
saying it needs to stop.
Right. Thank you. Everyone hear that?
Yeah. And everyone's like, why is it a trend? TikTok. That's literally the reason that all these producers are making tracks that are so short.
No, it's true. It's sad, and I'm guilty. I will admit, like, because "Marry Me," I think is 240 or something.
It's
But
two
like,
thirty. It's 2:37. I know. I complained about that to you.
oh my god, I know. Yeah, and everyone like, yeah, you were the first person that said that. Like, like my only complaint is it's too short.
Yeah.
And it's true. I don't agree with that whole system, and I think it's sad. And it's like, what's the most sad about it to me is like you'll hear the 2 minute 30-second songs now, and it feels too long. I don't know if that's you, but like I just mean like because like I also have songs, as you know, that are like 6 minutes and 7 minutes, like the remixes.
Yeah.
And those you don't notice they're 6 or 7 minutes. Like you play it and it just goes on. But like it doesn't feel too long because you get into the
No.
groove. But like the 2 minute 30 seconds now feels like too long. And I'm like, wait, does that mean they're going to do like 1 minute songs? Because like they keep getting shorter and shorter because your body thinks it's too long. And I'm like, just go back to like at least a 4 minute song, like so people can get into it.
This is, and I will say this, like, I'm not gonna admit something that like Benjy and I both know. Benjy and I are older. Like we're listening to music in the 2000s.
Okay.
Every song was 3.5 minutes, like
3.5
at
minutes.
least.
Always. Well, and that's what when I started writing music, all my
Yeah.
songs were like 3.5 minutes. Like I timed them so they would fit that structure of like three and a half,
Right.
340.
Like
Verse,
that's
chorus, bridge, you're good.
yeah. It's like now this stuff of like that's actually saying I get Onyx back. That is one of my questions for him. He's like he was talking about how he's an artist not for the industry, and I'm like, my question to him is, then why did you do Toxic and only do it 2 minutes and 50 seconds instead of doing the whole song?
Ooh. You're gonna clip this part and share it to him. Mic drop. Oh no, but like it's not their fault. Like, and also like
Yeah.
like they did their own thing with it, and like, but to your point, I don't want to like support that system, and I'm like I said, I'm guilty, but it's almost like, but also don't get mad at us because we're independent artists. We're trying to fit in.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing. It's like you're getting things handed to you by producers. Like I don't know if you and Gucci are like close enough to where you would have said like, I like this beat. I think it's too short. Can you make it longer? Like,
so that's the funny thing. I love Gucci, by the way, and I talked to him yesterday, like last night, and so the thing is like I also believe, and he would have if I had said that he would have done that, but I believe in something about when someone gives you something and you feel it, like to not change it too much. And like I kind of liked that he just gave me this 2 30-second thing, and I'm like, let me just play with it, and we made a thing. But like, yeah, it shouldn't be a standard, and it shouldn't be because it's like we can't deny that it is now a standard. It is now everyone. Like I think the Kim Petras like alone. I don't know the timing of that, but I feel like it was short. and it went viral on TikTok. But like, I feel like we need to just, like, let's all like, and it starts from the top up because they're the ones like with the audience and the crowd. Like, people should stop making these songs so that like all of us can just like fit back and make our own thing.
Well, it's almost to that point of Kim Petras. Like, the song that I think of is like, it's like Unholy. If you were gonna have Kim Petras on that song, you should have made a 3-minute song. Like,
Right.
it's like one of you had a verse, one of you had a verse, you both did the chorus. It's like, in some ways, when you're in that system and you're having a featured artist, nobody's taking control of the song.
Right.
And it's why, like, if I were presenting a beat to an artist, which I am, I'm gonna tell you this. I haven't even told the person I'm gonna offer this to yet. So you're gonna get exclusive.
Exclusive.
I am thinking about the next time I interview Phoenix, because Phoenix said he wouldn't do music. He might do one song. I thought about like offering him a beat, but making it conditional to I'll give you a beat for free, but you have to put me on the song.
Smart. Okay, Phoenix, don't quote that. I mean, don't like timestamp this. So then,
Yeah.
Or maybe you want them to see. So.
Well, I mean, Phoenix follows me on Instagram, so you might see this when I post the video of this.
Yeah, hi Phoenix.
Yeah, I do. Love.
That's so funny.
Oh, so I haven't seen you since then. So, what was it like for you going to the Glam Awards?
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah,
I think the day before the Glam Awards.
Yeah, it was when I interviewed you.
Yeah, that's amazing. It was really fun. It is glam. Everything about it is glam. The people. So I wore Timothy. I think I made that exclusive on your show, which is I wore Timothy Westbrook, head to toe, except for not the shoes, and it was a giant. Like you saw that picture, it was a giant red gown, which is really hard to walk in Manhattan streets, like to not be stepped on.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. The awards were really amazing. They had like amazing performances. Everyone was amazing, and it felt like you're at like a real like legitimate, which it is. It's not legitimate awards, but it really like is next level. It's like the performances, and they have like and then they had Kevin Alviance perform, who's amazing performer, and Beyonce and everything. So yeah.
Which, first of all, everyone knows Kevin Alviance from Beyonce now. It's like some of us knew Kevin Alviance like 10 years ago.
Thank you.
Like Cunty is my favorite song by Kevin Alviance. Like,
yeah, and it's like it's offensive that people are like, oh, Beyonce. It's just like, know your history, people. Like, and we can take, and that's a whole nother story. But anyway, but just to see them, and it was a surprise. So all of us did not know Kevin was there, and Kevin came out. And Kevin, have you seen Kevin perform live?
Of course not. I've never been to New York.
Okay,
well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I've never been to gay New York. That's why I honestly want to go back to New York.
Yeah. But no, but like Kevin really turns it out. And one thing I admire Kevin as a performer is that they are so they own the room. That whole award ceremony was floored. And that's something as a performer that I want to continue to do and like get better at, is like how to own that room and really be like a big ass bossy bee and just like make the room be afraid of you but also love you, and like there's something powerful about that.
I would say, in truth, to do that, the one incentive I know about owning the room is that perform and hope people hand you money. Will give you more motivation to be out in the audience.
Okay. Give me that money.
But I will say, with Kevin Alviance, I actually heard this story, and I don't even know if you know this story. So, the DJ who used to work when Kevin Alviance used to be in the clubs early on in his career, was, and I'm gonna tell this to the audience, and some people aren't gonna believe this, was Rodney Jerkins.
Oh.
And like, there was a story of like that I saw on Hey Queen when they were talking about like Kevin Aviance, how Rodney used to like skip the record on like Body Rock and wouldn't tell Kevin Aviance that he was like scratching the record when he was doing it. So like Kevin had to be on the beat and know everything
Wow.
just by heart. And I'm like, that work, that is crazy.
That's crazy. That's hard. Actually, one of the when you asked about crazy performances is one time that DJ sped up my song, like without me knowing. So I practiced it a certain way. So when I sped it up, I'm like, oh my god! Like if I was marry me, say wait, never needed to. Like you, it's really hard to like change on the spot like that. And wow, that's amazing.
And like, especially you being a live singer, it's like, I think Kevin was lip syncing that performance I was talking about. But it's like, if you're a live singer, yo, don't touch my fucking track. Like, leave it the way it is. Especially if it's a beat I made. I made the beat a certain BPM for a fucking reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. And I don't care if the room is like wanting to like faster music. It's like, no, this song is, you knew it. Because I always, they're going to hear what the song is before it goes on. Like I send them the track in advance. So if you don't think it's a good fit, like amazing, you know, I recently had a show where they specifically said, we want this kind of vibe. So I could do those songs. But like, don't take my music and then speed it up to fit your dance floor and not like, it's just not okay. Like, this is not, let me know.
And if you're gonna do that, literally tell Benjy beforehand, because it's like, if you want a faster song, he probably wouldn't hand you "Marry Me." He'd hand you "Incantation." Like,
oh my god, yes, Incantation. I love that one.
Yeah.
Oh, you remembered. Thank you.
Yeah. What about Incantation? I have like a few queer artists that like when I'm working out, I switch between. It's like you, Onyx, Pretty Boy Rock. Yeah, those are usually my three. Like, if I want to like switch between artists, it's like it just depends on the day.
Thank you so much. That's like really sweet, and thank you for supporting like independent artists. Like, you're amazing.
Of course.
You're like, hello.
I'm very much like, I do that. Like, as I always say, I support you. I go out and buy your stuff because, like, one of the things that I said this in the interview with Phoenix, I'll talk about this now. If I hit you up, do not expect me to pay you. Like, just don't expect it, because you're not going to get money from me. Like, and I have a reason for it. One of them is A, I'm not rich. And B, the second I pay you, I don't think you're going to be authentic when you come here.
Interesting. Gotcha.
Because it's like, if I'm pouring my heart out to you, which is what I do with a lot of people, I don't hold back. And it's like, I need you to not hold back as well. Like, and if I'm paying you, it's like your motives change. like I would say, not to make this too raunchy, but just to give you an example, like, I've gotten paid for sex before. It's like, I know the difference of like getting paid for sex and when I'm actually going to enjoy sex, like with somebody. I act very differently when I'm getting paid.
Ooh.
As in, I don't care if you come, I don't come any, like, I don't, you're paying me, I'm there.
Piping hot. Okay, say it for the back. All right, if you're gonna pay me, we're talking different story here.
Yeah.
It's
like, I took money from an old man one time who just wanted to like come to my house and suck me off. I didn't care if I came. It's like, He like went in, did his thing, gave me money, left. That's how easiest $100 I ever made.
Oh my god, easy money. Sorry. Okay.
I know Benji's so wholesome, and I'm over here talking like the fucking
No, I
slut that I
love
am.
it. I feel like I'm on the Howard Stern. Yay, getting the real like reality tea right now. I love it.
But actually, speaking of the raunchiness, it was my interview that I did with Silver. Like, I did that at, like last Monday. Yeah, last Monday, and I was talking about like questions that I ask people. Like, I have standard questions that I ask people. And he's like, "Why don't you just ask people what's their body count?" I'm like, "I cannot ask people that." I'm like, if I ask the wrong person that, they're gonna exit out of the interview. Like,
oh my god.
I'm like,
I mean, some people will answer it. Like, I mean,
some
I'm not
people would
that.
answer it.
Yeah.
But like, you asked the wrong person that question.
Right. They're like, bye, I'm hanging up. Oh my god. Yeah. No. Right.
But it's like, what else do you expect a go-go dancer to say?
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah. So, so, no, I'll ask this question first. So, how has your dating life been before and after becoming like an independent recording artist?
Funny. Let's just put it this way: is like, and it's a different. I mean, what I was gonna say is that I don't know if it's my personal, because I'm so busy, I don't have time for these kind of things. I feel like that could be part of it. Like, I'm not out there in the world. I'm not on the apps or anything. So
Right.
if I don't meet them in real life, which I don't have ever, I go out to the parties, but I'm not, like looking there to meet someone. I'm like really busy and stuff. So I would say it's like pretty much non-existent, but like like I say, kind of like with Marry Me, is like I'm married to my work. So to me, like that is what I'm here for. And like if I meet someone that's gonna like I mean, they 100% have to accept me as I am, especially on stage, because that is a part of who I am. So but yeah, there hasn't been anyone, but I think I've definitely seen people when I go out, like, actually it's funny, people that aren't even at the show. So like one time I had an Uber, like a Lyft driver, and I was dressed up for the show, and they were like, "Oh, like, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, when a show." They're like, "Oh, what are you doing after your show?" So, like, that's cute. So I like those kind of people that are like, they don't even care what they're just like, "Oh, I'm interested in you and you're cool." But yeah, overall, it's been nothing. It's been very like, I think I'm just more really focused. So I'm not even looking.
Right.
If people are giving me hints, I'm not even seeing it.
I mean, I would say this. I get it now. Like, before I was like, and then it's like, I was great, I was free, all of this. Now, literally, I have a friends with benefits. I haven't seen him in 2 months, literally, just because, like, I am so, like, between my job and being, like, laser focused on this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not just that. It's like, I don't know if you've been this way. Sometimes it's even hard to see, like, friends.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, I haven't seen my best friend in 2 months. Like, and we're in the same town. We're in, like, the town. He's, like, in the town next over. But I just... I get so, like, focused. And...
No, it's crazy. It's like you get focused, and then when you have the things where you're like, do I go out, or do I work on this interview editing, or do I go out, or I prepare for the interview, or do I work on the song, or do I get my new like wig, whatever, like those things is like a trade-off. And then it's like, I'd rather be here doing this. But I'm trying to get better at like, like I always want to support my friends, of course, and I do. I've always have. If someone has a show, I'll be there. Or
yes,
yeah,
yes, literally. I saw this like as like a quote from this YouTuber. I'm gonna like paraphrase it, but it's basically is like, if you do not support your friends when they are being successful, you're a hater.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's literally just straight up. That's why, like, if ever I see Benji's having a show, whatever, it's like, whoever I see, like if I see them posting stuff, I try and put it in my story as well, being like,
It's so
because
sweet.
I have people who like I have like friends now in New York. I have friends in LA. It's like, look, it's like go support this person, like go dancer, musician, whatever. These people need money. Like
Right. Totally.
they're working, like pay them their gigs, and in turn, for the most part, they come back. Like
Right.
here when I need guests, because everyone who thinks, oh, you just do a podcast and guests just come to you.
Oh,
As I said before, the persistent speech came for a reason.
right.
Like,
Right. No, exactly. So it's just like you gotta be like, yeah, you gotta be there for people, and like, and it goes both ways. You can't just not like expect people to be there for you and then not have them, you know, and then have them come for you. You gotta have to be there for everyone. So it's both ways, but it is hard because I know everyone's busy and all that. And it is like everyone. That's the other thing I have to realize as a performer, and probably you've seen this too. Is like I can't get mad. I get everyone's busy. So like some people have
yeah,
kids, some people like have jobs that they got. Cause I perform late. You know, I perform like
right,
sometimes like 2 or 3 a.m. So I can't expect
yeah,
people to be like with day jobs to come to my show and support. So
right.
I've gotten better at accepting that and just being really grateful for those who can, come out.
Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up soon.
Okay.
So I got like a few more. Okay, I think I'll do like this. I'll do like this question. So, have you ever suffered with body insecurities?
Um, Slightly in the
Yeah,
way of um I'm gonna consider it insecurity because I think anything that you're not 100% like I'm proud of this is like maybe a little insecure. So definitely, I feel like because of my outfits, like hello, I'm in a freaking bra right now. It's like
yeah,
like I have a lot of skin showing, so there's times where I'm like, especially my last slick control show that I had last year, like I had a corset thing, but it like made my like just like made like a giant bulge thing like
right,
on my stomach, and I definitely was like, oh my god, I have to Photoshop this now, and so it's like so I don't like that. I'm like I wish I would just be proud of like, hey, you have bulge on your stomach, whatever. And
right,
so I'm just like I'm the harshest critic. So I think I do realize that there's times where I think like that, and I'm like I have to remind myself. I'm like, listen, it's not a big deal, and also like you're the harshest critic on yourself. So you think that, but
right.
other people are not looking at your that one little thing,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I have a little bit, yeah.
Well, obviously, I will say. Long story short is obviously yes, I have not looking like everybody else, especially in the queer community. It has gotten to a point where like I've gotten like depressed about it, but it's like I also got to a point where I got to basically just saying fuck it, and like that's where I'm at today. So,
Amen.
all right. Trying to think about. I'm going to do one more. I'm trying to think about which question I want to ask you. Oh, okay. So, what's the biggest misconception about you?
Probably like, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is people think that I'm either that I'm really, 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 really gay, like 1,000% gay in terms of, and I don't like that word even nowadays, but I feel like it, like I think it'd be like a gay male that's like into like fashion and into like makeup every day of my life and like loves like Sex in the City, which I do because that's
Yeah.
my name came, but like it's not 100% me. So I think that's probably one of the biggest ones is they think that I'm more like that I don't have a spectrum, Um,
Right.
and the other thing I think is that people feel that I'm just more crazier than I am. Like, like they're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, you could go like this sex parties and like go out and then like go to a binger and do all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, no, like I like being in bed. I do like going out, but when I go out, it's very responsible. I like to go dancing. I go there for the music and for dancing. So, and I do dress up, yes, but I'm just
Yeah.
dressing up. It's not like I'm doing anything else. So it's just funny. People are like, oh, you're going to go out till like sunrise and do like all this orgy and then wake up in a dumpster. And I'm like, actually, I love dumpsters. I love waking up near them, but that's not the goal for tonight. Okay. It is kind of fun though. I have actually performed at a dumpster. So yeah. Anyway.
Wait. Performed in a dumpster?
Well, so there was an adjacent dumpster. It was an alleyway, and it was
Oh,
actually
okay.
it's on Twitch. It's actually there's a video somewhere. It was me like on Twitch live streaming, and I think this was it. Love is Love as well. Probably it was. It was like another version of Love. I think it was the David Michael version, and I was like, I was crawling on the street. Anyway, it's not important. The point is, like, I love dumpsters. I love performing on them, but and near adjacent to them, but like it's not like my goal every night to end up in one. You know,
right? For me, honestly, I've said this before. Based on just the way that I am, I feel like some people might think I'm shady, but I'm honestly not. I'm just. My thing is, like, I have in some ways, like, a comedian's mind also, so it's like, I sometimes just say things for, like, a joke, and, like, because I want people to laugh, like, that's why I would love to be the person who's like, my interview, like, inspiration is Diane Sawyer. My response is Diane Sawyer is fucking horrible. Like, I'm so glad that, like, Howard Stern is how I love to do things.
Yeah, I do love that. Yeah, but we love Diane. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Diane Sawyer is like, I feel like her goal, like, with every interview at some point, it was, especially in the 2000s, was like to make everybody cry. Like,
right.
Or like make them pissed off. If you look at like her interview with Whitney, her interview with Britney Spears, like she literally kept on like prodding until Britney Spears cried. So it's like
so messed up.
Yeah, it's like I like making people happy.
Yeah, I feel happy.
Yeah. Although I'm not afraid to go deep.
Yeah, you started there. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to go deep, but I also know that as someone who interviews, you can't end on a deep note. Like, you gotta. That's what I did in my last interview with Phoenix. I like went really, really deep, and I'm like, you can't. The reason it went like a little bit longer is because I was like, we're not ending here. I got to bring this back around to like a positive place,
right?
Because you never want to end on a low note. Right. So, right. So with that being said, it's been great interviewing you.
Thank you. Always a blast.
And with that being said, this is Gay Out the City. I'm your host, Prince Electro Diamond, and I hope you've enjoyed.
Love you guys.